Hello and welcome to the People Do That podcast. I'm Tim Vasquez, restaurant owner, author, and unflexible yogi.
I'm Brian Reid, professional baseball scout, horror film producer, and I'm currently dealing with great hair.
And I'm Nick Farr, corporate sales vice president who doubles as a Food Network star. On this podcast, we're going to talk to people that do epic shit with their lives.
These are people that are good at life. We will talk to life coaches, sports broadcasters, fitness experts, Marine special ops, and even someone who became a doctor after the age of 50. Because you know what?
People do that.
People do that?
People do that.
Well, I give you just a little bit, I don't need a lot. Open up your heart, show me what you got. The sugar tastes sweet, coffee in the pot. Now give me just a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, now.
All right, so here we are. What are we doing right now?
Yeah, that's the question that we have for you, actually.
Yeah.
So you brought us here. You very innocently invited us to lunch at Portillo's, which was delicious.
It was delicious.
I had the beef and sausage combo, and then you made me choke on it by saying, I want to start a podcast.
That's exactly it. We go to lunch, we go have a beer, we go have a cocktail, and we sit there and we talk about life and we solve the world's problems and we have opinions about things and we're funny. I usually leave those lunches with my jaw hurting a little bit just from laughing so much. My face hurts the rest of the day. And I just thought, what if we just stick a microphone in front of all of us, hit record. And then in addition to that, I've been kind of obsessed the last few years with just life and what is it and who's good at it and how do I be more like them through podcasts, through books, whatever. So then I'm like, why don't we just have two of the funniest humans that I know and also very intellectual, and we'll bring on people that are good at life and we'll just talk to them as though we were having a beer at a bar.
So when do those people get here then?
Exactly. I'll be a stand-in.
These intellectual...
Well, none of them have returned my calls yet.
we were just available.
We'll get them as guests.
Yes.
We'll get them, yes. All right. Well, that's great. Yeah, all those years of post games or just recaps and talking about all the people that are crazy in our life.
Yeah.
But some of them are crazy awesome. There's
Yes.
some really cool things that they do, right? Not just the crazy psycho dads at games and stuff, but
There
we can
are
bring them
those.
on too. We'll find something. But I love it. I absolutely love the idea. We're pushing the positive on it. We're as I've talked to you guys, like all the life skills that we've learned from baseball, right? How to just navigate the thing. And I hate the baseball's life and what it's a game of inches and all that. But man, there are so many carryovers to life. And as I see more and more people that we interact with in a daily life, you can tell those people that were athletes, and you can just tell people that they get it, right?
Right.
They're just good at it.
Right. And I feel like this is not in any way a podcast of we are good at life and we're going to tell you how to be good at life, because it's a work in progress. We're all a work in progress. We all try our best, but parenting's hard, marriage is hard, work is hard, work-life balance is tough, and nutrition, all that kind of stuff. And so I think there's a lot of people that we share a lot of commonalities with. We're all just trying to do the best that we can and maybe bring people on that'll give us a little bit of a tidbit or insight in their life or just one little nugget that somebody can pull out and make their life a little better.
But okay, so I agree, and I love the idea, or else I wouldn't be sitting here. But why though? What is it? Is it just so that other people know it, or so that you could get it out of your brain, or is this just taking place of the lunches that we have, or why?
This is just a good way to schedule getting together with you guys. I didn't know how to hang out more, and so I'm just maybe I'll tell them we're doing a podcast. And
Get rid of the food. We'll just take the recording studio.
He's trying to tell us something to get rid of the food.
I guess we're in charge of the food now, or no? We start a little healthier in here.
I just feel like in the last couple of years I've come into contact with so many people that are inspirational, and I just would love for them to have the opportunity to just kind of share their message or just share their life. And all of them are flawed as well. All of them have had their adversity that they've overcome or whatever, but they're all doing amazing things. We'll talk to a doctor, my friend, Dr. Chris Wallace, who became a doctor when she was 50, and just Jason France, who's, been into Afghanistan, and just people that have overcome some amazing things. And I think there's a lot to learn from. And there's, nutritionists, that sort of thing. There's just a lot of different roads we could go down with this. And I think one of the things that I love about us is our ability to make fun of ourselves. You know, like we're just going through life like everybody else.
Oh yeah, I'm the best.
Yeah, you're great at it. You're great. You're great at it. And I'm sure we're going to get a lot of that too. So humble.
So humble.
So humble.
Oh,
but like
man.
just not that long ago, Julie and I were she had the idea for us to do like this fast thing. It was like a 5-day fast. So once again, we're on our quest to be healthy, and you get like a little packet of powder that turns into soup, and you get like 3 olives during the day. And you look forward to those olives, and you savor those olives, and you love them. And
What did you get lost in the wilderness?
I know.
What
Yeah,
are
is
you
this
doing?
into the wild at this point?
She
or-
thought it was a great idea. And for little packets and olives, it was so expensive to get these boxes of nothing that we paid for so we could do this cleanse.
Wait,
Prepping for Everest.
wait.
The Vasquez family.
This is the best fucking idea of all time.
It's a genius. Yeah,
I'm gonna send you nothing,
basically.
and you're gonna pay me to do nothing.
Oh, I left out. No, there is a packet of tea. You get a packet of tea each day.
And a fucking Kalamata,
And it was like-
you're a done deal.
Oh, a Kalamata would be dessert. And it was like $190.
Oh my
So
God.
For your box of
for
nothing.
my box of nothing. So we're on like day 3. We're trying to be good. We're trying to be healthy. I'm sitting on this the couch at like 10:30 at night, and I'm pissed at Julie because now it's her fault in my head because I was so hangry. I was so mad. And she's like, "You're being the biggest baby." And I'm like, "I'm mad. I'm starving. I want real food." And she's just like, "We just go get something then." And I'm like, "I will." So I got in my car at 10:30 at night, and I drove to Freddy's, and I went through the drive-thru and got a double cheeseburger, a large fries, and a shake. And I didn't even drive home. I drove into the parking spot. I had Metallica on, full blast, windows down, and I just
Made
went,
love to that.
I made
biscuit.
love to
my
that. Oh,
goodness.
it was so good.
Salt.
I just at one point I looked up in the rearview mirror, and I just had like mustard just coming down the corner, and I'm just like, okay,
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to be good, but I just am not quite there yet. And Julie made it the whole way through the thing, didn't cheat once. I got back on track, finished the cleanse the next day or two, but that just moment of delight. But that's also just a reason why like I'm on a quest to be better at life, but we're all a work in progress.
Yeah, and I could already tell by the list of people that you said, you know, like these people are all extraordinary at life or their field of work or whatever it is. And then I look at them and I see Jason, right, who owns a workout gym, and I see Wid, who owns a rehab facility, and I know these are all early risers, and I immediately think to myself, if I have to get out of bed before 7 a.m., I'm fucking pissed. And then I look at these people, and I know they're going to come in and they're going to go, dude, if it's 4:30 and you're not moving, and I'm going to be like, oh, God.
Don't text me.
Is he talking to me?
A burpee?
Yeah.
I have to
like-
do a burpee?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm in. I like to be motivated by that type of thing. Not that I'm going to do that thing, but I just think for your mental state of mind, right? Going like, man, just learning perspectives of people. I think that's been my quest the last couple of years is just, I want to understand your perspective. You know, when I get into a room, it's like, this is what we should do, right? You're the same way, right? We don't like not controlling things.
Right.
I kind of like the sense of not controlling it, and whatever comes out of this person's mouth, and they go, yeah, if it's 4:30 and you're not moving, and I'm like, fuck. Like, yeah, I get it. That doesn't mean I'm going to do it.
Right.
Like,
But somebody who's listening, maybe one of our tens of listeners that we
That's
talk
right,
about,
that's right.
they might be inspired to do it. And if they're not, and maybe they're just entertained by us. And, you know, I think about in the last couple of years, you've had the chance to meet Guy Fieri when you were on Food Network and talk about a huge personality and just like really trying to get in the head of people that are like uber successful like that and how they do it.
Yeah. So I think that's a good relationship. Fourth time on Food Network will be coming up this October. So the 3 times that have already aired, you get to meet him every time, and you get to spend an extended period of time with him, like 15 hours out of the day, right? He's just standing next to you. And, you know, that's what I was saying before is like, you get inspired by things. When I see how that guy works and how he moves and how he is always on, I think of myself as someone that's always on. And then you see him and you go, no, I'm not. And he is. Not that, you know, I'm trying to compare myself to him, but I'm going like, there is another level, right? And he is the next level of it.
Right.
And then he can come right off that and he can say, oh yeah, I saw the pictures of your backyard in the video. That's awesome. And I'm like, how is that possible? That he knows that, right? So I think that's what I'm most looking forward to is when we have those types of people there is like you garner inspiration from these types of things. Really looking forward to that aspect of it.
And I do have to say, you are always on, because I know for a fact that 5 minutes before you walked in here, you were probably on a work call, just like motivating your team or whatever. You come in, you get out of your car, you walk in here, you throw the headset on, and boom, you're locked in. Like that's pretty good.
Were you
compartmentalized?
So were you listening?
Yes.
Yeah, because you schedule these at 5:30, and I don't get off till 5. So I'm getting out of my car at 5:25, still on the phone, and then I have to think from the time that I walk from the parking lot to here, what is about to happen, which I still didn't know, Rich, right? Like where this isn't like a ruse or something.
No.
You said, I think we should do a podcast. I know where the studio is at. Here's some potential guests. I just want to talk to these people and talk to you guys. That was it. Like that's all we know about
and
this.
that's all we're going to do.
Yeah. And that's all we're going to do.
I was trying to think of what like expectations, like the guests that we've discussed and the other people that we want to talk to. Like, yeah, what are the expectations of them? Like coming into this, like there's some anxiety to it. Again, I don't know what a podcast is. I'm getting a little better at this, but sitting and talking to people and just making it comfortable with one another. But I'm excited to hear about how they navigate their day, how the tokens they're putting in the things that they're prioritizing throughout the day. I'm excited to hear about their flaws, if they're willing to talk about them. And I have a feeling because they are awesome people,
Right.
they will talk about that thing. Like you said, we're quick to make fun of ourselves, and I'm guessing that these guests will do the same thing, right? You have to. I mean, to be successful like that in a lot of things, you've got to be to self-evaluate, right? And there's no way, again, we're not perfect. We're not doing this because we're going to set the tone of being perfect, right? Yeah, that we're going to bring our flaws to the table as well.
It's actually about imperfection, I think.
Absolutely.
Right.
Getting exposed.
Right, getting just flat exposed. And then going, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Right? Because here's what I'm doing to be better the next time. Do this differently, whatever it is. It's like the cliche of the getting the knockdown thing. It's like life is just going to knock the shit out of you over and over and over. And if you can't laugh through some of that stuff and pick yourself up, it's just like, it's just not going to work.
And there's so many people out there that I mean, none of us know what's going on in people's houses, what's really going on. You see their social media, their Instagram, you talk to them, they can put on a happy face. But people are struggling right now. It's been crazy ever since the pandemic. And so for one, maybe this is just an entertaining thing and they're just going to laugh because you guys are funny and they're going to enjoy it and it'll be entertainment value. Or maybe there's somebody who's struggling with drinking right now. Maybe there's somebody who's struggling through a tough spot in their marriage or parenting or whatever. And maybe there's just a little nugget they get from one of our guests that'll help them out.
So let's state it for the record right now. I don't care how many people view this or listen to it.
Right.
Do you?
No.
Brian, do you?
Yeah, I'm going to need a certain number of followers to keep me coming on. Yeah.
So if the answer is no, that's a good baseline.
Right.
But over the course of time, do you think people are going to listen to this?
I don't know. I think it's going to be good.
We have our first caller.
Yeah, we have a caller coming on. Yeah, you know what? I think they will. I think they'll enjoy it. But if they don't, and we just get to hang out for an hour once every week or 2 weeks, I think it's worth it to me. But I think they're going to like it.
I can tell you already the anxiety that started when you talking about this and the processor.
Your anxiety.
My anxiety, yes. Turned into, and I don't get anxious about much. Like I'm pretty comfortable with myself and all that stuff. But the idea of throwing all this stuff out into the world, right? It's done. But I've done that with some other things. But when I've been creative, I think about things throughout the day. Like I said, I drive a lot and I spend a lot of time just listening to the radio. And I'll turn the radio off and just start talking to myself and the creative process. It used to happen at night when I was younger. Now it's like mid-afternoon. I've got this real rush of, and I've jotted down some notes. And if there's things I do want to ask people and I want to talk about, So thank you for that. I mean, it's actually kind of got the juices flowing creatively.
Yeah. And I love your perspective. I mean, to have not only one of my best friends, my T-ball teammate since we were 5 years old, but, our dads playing pro ball together and knowing each other, but somebody who's a professional baseball scout. And, we all have the baseball theme amongst us. It's not going to be a baseball podcast, but just so many stories, so many great people. And the fact, like, I'm trying to schedule us to get together and, you're working on the draft right now and you got games to watch and traveling, but all that knowledge you've gained from 22 years of being a scout, it's just that perspective really, really intrigues me as well.
Yeah. And I get, obviously we've talked about, being at baseball games and watching not just our own kids, but watching parents and the parents that ask me questions. I enjoy it. It's part of the responsibility of the job, educating along the way. And there's really some crazy information that I do have stuck up here that I would like to get out. And again, this is not going to be about baseball, but it started the creative process of maybe putting that stuff down on paper and being able to help the next generation or help a parent. If it helps one, it's the old.
Yeah.
Right, if it helps one.
But guess
I'd
what?
like to help
That's
more
true.
than one, though. Let's get this out. Let's get this out of me.
Even as you're a scout, but you're also a dad of two athletes.
Yes.
And, that's something we're probably going to talk about it a lot, is just not just parenting athletes, but just parenting kids. And what's your role as a parent? How much do you get involved? Are you tearing down roadblocks for them? Are you a helicopter parent? Like what kind of parents? Because, you come into contact with them a lot and you see how the parents' actions determine what the kid is like, and so you have that perspective.
I'm looking forward to this because I feel like sometimes I'm horrible at this. Like,
At what?
At being a parent, because there's not a handbook.
No.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. They're both basically adults now. And am I an enabler? Am I doing the right thing? If I love cooking, if they want food, I'll cook them food. They're not going to have the life skills when they leave the house. And I'm like, but they're here and I love them and I want to cook them good food. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right.
Like,
It's not
I don't
about
know.
them.
It's
It's not about them. Let me cook.
I don't know. I just want to cook. Like, is that okay? It's like if they're not going to be successful when they leave. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. But
Well, I got to tell you, it's funny, or it's not funny, but Julie and I are recently empty nesters. And when our kids moved out, we were home alone and she just stopped cooking. Like she used to make dinner for the kids every single night. We'd have family dinner and she just stopped cooking. And
sad, probably.
She said,
sad.
I can't go to the grocery store. I can't make the same chicken and broccoli and sweet potato dish that I made for the kids for 22 years because it makes me want to cry. And so it's like we thought we were doing the right thing all 22 years making our kids, and now we're struggling because the thing that we've done for so long is like we don't do that anymore. So now it's finding that next thing. So I started a podcast.
Now it's powdered soup and olives, for God's sake.
Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
She really
What
doesn't want to
happened?
cook.
Hey, by the way, I didn't see this in the group text thread. Hey, guys, starting the fucking olive and
The olive fast.
powder fucking thing.
Wait, now, so cheating on a fast. So this is where because JJ brought the same thing to the table, and there was no olives involved, but
What was involved, though?
oh my God, so much soup. So much soup.
A lot of soup.
So much soup.
Wait, is this a fast?
It was a fast. It was a cleanse. Let's go with that.
Cleanse.
Yeah, more of a
Yeah,
cleanse.
it's a cleanse.
So
What's
the
in
idea
this soup?
Oh, it actually had some taste to it. It was fine, but so cheating on a fast, as I learned, was not. You eat what they tell you to eat, but so you're not supposed to eat anything else.
No.
Is that okay? So that's where I went wrong. Yeah. So she stayed to the fast.
Yeah, so-
I thought I was enhancing it by adding. No, that didn't work.
No.
The green chili burro was not.
No,
that
no.
wasn't in the
I
appendix.
ate half. I thought it was like, all right, we're gonna portion here. We're
I
good.
mean, I highly recommend the cleanse because I
Oh.
lost 5 pounds and it lasted 3 days and then I put on 7. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, it worked out great. And I
Exactly.
was $380
Exactly.
lighter in the pocket.
So I think maybe about 10 years ago, I was feeling, shitty that day or whatever it was. And I did see something online, this charcoal fast, you take the charcoal pills and it's the cleansing and whatever. And then I was like, yeah, look at all these reviews. This is great. I'm going to do this. It's going to reset my metabolism. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm not going to go to the fucking gym at all, ever. But this is what I'm going to do. So you get this, it's Mr. So-and-so's whatever, and it's in this box and you open the thing and I'm like, all right, let's see these directions, right? And I get the directions and I look at it, 52 pills a day.
Oh my God. Talk to us about
Wow.
the black tarry stools.
Oh my God.
Please go into
Dude,
detail.
you've never seen the fucking demons come out of someone like that. Jesus Christ. I could
Lord.
not. I couldn't believe it.
52 pills. Yeah, because like you see these diets and like, oh, I need a little bit of turmeric over here, and I need a little
Yeah.
ginger over here.
yeah,
I need
yeah.
a little bit of this, and yeah, now you're adding this thing up, and boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. It's an entire day's worth of
Right. Apple cider
yeah.
vinegar and fucking turmeric.
exactly.
And ginger fucking ginkgo bilobas and shit.
I had a change of my mind recently because I've gone through phases of my life where I just feel like absolute dog shit, and I feel just fat and bloated and no energy. And there's times where
That's
I'm
called
doing
Wednesday.
There's some times where I'm feeling like great and I'm exercising and I'm eating healthy and I just feel like $1,000,000. But when you scroll through your memories on Facebook or whatever, I look the same in all of them. Like nothing matters. Like I'm just Tim, and
Yeah.
Tim
Yeah.
always just looks like this. It's not Jason France.
This is Tim.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
Tim.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of eat what I want until we bring a nutritionist on this podcast.
Yeah,
It
so-
changes all of our minds.
So that's actually my next question. Speaking about this podcast is why people do that? Is it just because we go, wow, people do that?
People do that.
That's kind of where
Yeah.
this started, I think. is
Yeah.
People do that. But then sometimes it's like, people do that. You know, people do that.
Yeah. And
People do cleanses.
And it could be something as extreme as becoming a doctor when you're 50 or waiting at Outback Steakhouse for 1 hour on a Sunday afternoon to get a table. People actually do that.
People do that.
Yeah. And there was the why in front of it. Why would people do that?
Yeah,
right?
why? What? I'll
Yeah.
here. Let's chalk one up for something I will never do, and I promise to you guys right now.
Yeah.
If I ever do it, kick me in the ball sack.
I will.
I will never wait at Outback Steakhouse for 1 hour for any fucking reason ever.
Well, I texted you guys a picture. There was a guy riding a motorcycle with a sidecar on it the other day, like, and with his wife in it. People do that. I mean, people do that. We're not going to have them on the podcast, but people do that.
Maybe we should. Maybe those are the other people. Yeah, I think you've got to the point where we've got three categories, right? There's the period at the end, right? The people do that, and it's like identifying.
Statement.
That's
Yeah.
a statement. Yeah, identify that. That's pretty freaking awesome, right? The exclamation point, right? Which is like, whoa, that's over the top. I can't believe that.
Right.
And then there's the question mark. And I think if we had the bell curve, I think the question mark goes right in the middle, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that the highest?
Like,
Yeah.
what? People
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah.
What? People do that?
You're right. And then we're going to bring the people on that, you know, it's like people do that.
I think we're going with the exclamation part.
Yeah.
Points, right?
Well, we're going to bring all three.
We're bringing
on.
all.
That's-
Well, yeah. So
And we're not judging. We're not judging. You can be anywhere on the bell curve, right?
Yeah, no, because if they feel like we're it's the Spanish Inquisition. Like, wait, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Right. If we put the Y in front of it,
Yeah.
and with a guest,
Right.
we're
Yeah.
going to run into trouble quickly.
Right.
But we probably do need to grab someone that's a little bit more unique, maybe that isn't the friend or that we don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Where we do want to lead off with. So you mean to tell me that you do X, Y, and Z, and that people actually do that?
like microdose psilocybin.
Yes.
I want to bring somebody on that has done that. And
Yes.
I want to say, tell me about it. I'm scared to death and I'll probably never do it. But
Like somebody that's been on the Food Network 3 times.
That
4
would be
times,
interesting.
People do that.
Hey.
Somebody that owns restaurants. And
Right.
Been in the restaurant business.
Or someone that is most creative writing horror films and
Oh.
starring in them.
What?
Yeah.
People do that?
Yeah.
so I think let's do this. Let's start our
do it.
podcast. It's an idea. It's a random thing. I just want to do with you guys because people do that.
People do that?
People do that.
Oh, now give me just a little bit, and I don't need a lot. Open up your heart, show me what you got. Sugar taste, sweet coffee. Give me just a little bit. Give me just a little bit, and I don't need a lot. Open up your heart, show me what you got. Sugar taste, sweet coffee.